Hi there, this is Jessica Berg, licensed mental health counselor with Seattle Christian Counseling. It's mid-April. It's a really beautiful day outside in Seattle. I'm just doing a short video today to kind of talk to you guys about being called by God and finding your purpose in life. I do Bible plans every day, actually. I've been doing them for about 8 years regularly. And I don't read them every single day, but most days, usually in the morning or in the evening when I have time, downtime. I go through different Bible plans that are kind of hitting me that week that I need to hear. Like, if there's something super stressful going on that week for work or my family life or whatever, I might find one on anxiety or worry, or if there's like a loss of something, you can look up grief and loss and depression and uversion.com, and they have different Bible plans for women that you can go through. So I've been doing this for a long time, and over the years, especially in the last probably I would say 3 years, I've started copying down ones that really stand out to me, that really affect my thinking and put me in a more positive place, and that I want to share with people, because I find that with the clients I see at my practice, I share this stuff and it really has an impact on them. And then some of them are even telling me they're sharing it with family members, it's impacting them. So the trickle down effect of positive scripture and plans, how it can change your mindset and even your behaviors and how you live your life, is so effective for me that I want to share it with others, especially, like I said, the people I see in my practice that deal specifically with depression and anxiety, and other things, but these are really significant. So this one that I read recently that I wanted to do a short video on was called Biblical Accounts of Being Called by God, Finding Your Purpose. It stood out to me, and when I read it, it's short, but I thought, that's happened to me, I can't tell you how many times in my life, where I'm in a season of something, like years ago when I was a stay-at-home mom, when my daughter was born. And that was a season I was in, of being a stay-at-home mom. And then, she turned 4 and was going to school more hours a day. And I realized that I was being called back to work part-time. And it was a purpose, like being called by God. There were things that happened that kind of got me to that point, and it all fell into place the way it was supposed to. My daughter was taken care of, and in school or with a family member or trusted friend, when I was working. And so I was like, wow, that he's really making a way for me to do this. Like, this is not me doing this. This is God, like, pulling me back to work part-time, as well as being a mom and finding a different purpose again of what I used to do, which I knew eventually I'd go back to, but it was in a different time frame than I thought it would be. And that's what he does. I think he surprises us. So it says here, how can we know if we are living our calling? Read one or more of the following accounts of scripture to discover how Joseph, Moses, Nehemiah, Esther, Jonah, and Jesus received their callings from God. From these passages, you will see that God often uses other people to communicate with us about our call. I completely 100% agree with that. Events or circumstances are used to guide us in the discovery of our purpose. Our preparation may guide us toward our designated purpose at a particular time. Timing may also include the combination of several factors coming together for the fulfillment of God's purposes. For example, people that God uses. God uses Mordecai to communicate his call to Esther. Significant events. God uses the burning bush to get Moses' attention. Preparation. Joseph's gifts were revealed after months of imprisonment. And timing. Nehemiah prayed, fasted, and reflected 4 months before communicating with the king about his calling. I can relate to every single one of those. God definitely used people in my life, to kind of call me back to what his purpose was. He used significant events for sure. He prepared me. It was I think probably a good 2-year long process before I realized I was going to go back to work part-time. I started thinking about it when my daughter was about 2.5, 3. And so it was a couple years of preparing for that and researching and figuring out where I wanted to go and where I was going to stick for a long time and what it was going to look like. And then timing. When I found it with Seattle Christian Counseling, it all, like I said, fell into place. Like, I contacted him, I think the next day. Eric Miles called me back. I had an interview set up, and it literally just went from there. Like, everything fell into place and got set up. And within a few months time, I was in the office in September. And I think all that started, it was that spring. So I want to say it was maybe May that it kind of started. So in terms of the interviews and the calling and all the process of that. So, even once I figured out what I wanted to do and I found the place, it even took a few more months to prepare and get ready for that. And then once I was there, still building a practice back up again in private practice takes time. And I can say I've been there almost 2 years now. And from when I started to now, I'm booking out 2 to 3 weeks in advance for a lot of my appointments. They're becoming regular slots that people need and want. So it's crazy how it goes from trying to build something to now, like, realizing that, wow, I'm getting booked up pretty quickly, weeks in advance, and this is a good thing because I'm helping people, I'm busy, I'm doing what God's called me to do. This is his purpose for me. I'm a mom when I'm at home with my daughter and we're doing things together. But when she's at school, I work, and my purpose is to help people heal and recover from things like anxiety, depression, eating disorders, whole host of women's issues. I work with people on boundary work, relationship rebuilding, family events that happen that are tragic, like loss of a loved one or divorce. I work with a lot of kids of divorced families because I was one myself. So I understand a lot of these things personally, but very much educated on them as well. Like, went to school for all of this stuff for a very long time. And so my whole point in telling you guys about this is everybody has a purpose, right? Like, I counsel my people that I see, specifically a lot of women, on being able to find what that purpose is for them. If it's being a stay-at-home mom full time, then that's what your purpose is. If you're happy and fulfilled with that, that's amazing. And that's what God's called you to do. But I do think, along with that, there are skills and abilities he gives us. So some people take up, something along with that, whether it's volunteer work or working part-time or full-time, or maybe it's taking up something they used to love to do as a hobby and they turn it into a business. I have some clients that did that with photography, did it with writing. There's a whole host of things that you can do when you realize that it's almost like sometimes you know that something bigger is happening around you. Like, wow, I'm really seeing this in all parts of my life. Like, I'm reading about this, I'm getting phone calls about this, I'm talking to people about this, and it starts to become clear, like, maybe it's something I should pursue. If it's all around me and it's becoming evident that this is a part of who I am. And when I sit on it, I'm not as happy because I'm not doing what God's called me deep down to do. So my goal in this is just to kind of tell you guys that God does use people, significant events, preparation, and timing for his purpose for your life. And it can be a million different things for different people. There's no set way of doing something that works for everybody. That's the cool thing about being individuals, is that everybody has their own purpose, their way of doing it. And God calls us with those different skills and abilities to kind of go that road that he's prepared for you that maybe no one else has gone. It can be scary at times. I understand, like, starting up a business or going back to something you are really good at, but you're not sure how it's going to go. It can be scary. And so in that time, I would recommend praying a lot and leaning on people for support that are supportive, that give you that positive feedback, whether it be pastors, good friends, teachers maybe that you have, or, parents, whoever that is to you. Leaning on those people for support, praying, and knowing that if you're supposed to be doing this, it will all fall into place. Like, everything in my life that was ever meant to be always fell into place, even if it was, hard to figure out at the time. It always fell into place because it was God's purpose for my life. So hopefully this video helps some of you out there watching, knowing that even if you haven't found your purpose yet, there's time for you. It doesn't matter what age you are, you will figure it out. Like I said, prayer and listening to God talking to you at different times, in your life. I mean, you should do it all the time, but different times in your life, I just think he speaks to you in different ways. And so being able to listen and sometimes be quiet and know, like, okay, he's speaking to me in this way and I didn't realize it, and starting to pay attention more and being mindful and purposeful of following the path that you realize maybe he set out for you, even if it's scary at first, and knowing you can pray, you can talk to people, you can get support. And sometimes, there are people that think they know their purpose, they follow it, and it doesn't work out, and that's okay. So what I say to that is, don't give up. Don't settle on that one thing that didn't work out that you thought was your purpose. Maybe it wasn't. So pursue something else. Continue to pray, continue to lean on people and trust God, and don't give up. Know that he's got something amazing planned for you. He does for everyone. He builds, he makes us this way so that we have special talents and abilities and skills to be able to do something great in this world, and it doesn't matter what that is. It's what he's called you to do. It's significant for you, and it's significant because it's from him. So don't give up. Always follow your dreams. I'm always telling my clients and on my videos on here, I feel like I say this a lot, but it's because I really firmly believe in not letting life or situations or people get you down, and not giving up. Like, not giving up when you go through really hard times, or you feel like maybe it's it for you. Like, this is just all I'm meant to do. I'm not meant to do anything else. I don't think I have it in me. You know what? You do. Like, God's made you for a certain reason, and you have to pray and you have to trust and know that he's going to make it happen. He's the only one that can. So I hope this gives you some inspiration. I hope you guys have a great week. Enjoy this beautiful sunny weather in April. I know it'll probably be raining tomorrow, so just enjoy it while you can. And thank you guys for watching. I appreciate anyone that takes the time to watch out my videos and gets even just a small piece of helpful information and support from it. As always, if you need counseling, you can always look up my profile on our website on seattlechristiancounseling.com and go to counselors and look for Jessica Berg. Feel free to contact me and see if you need an appointment for something, and we can try and figure that out for you. Okay, take care. God bless. Have a great day.